Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. We've got a brand new Cimarron Norstar 3-horse gooseneck sitting behind me. This is a brand new trailer, just showed up. These trailers are not lasting very long, so if you are in the market for something like this, definitely let us know and we can help you out with something like that. Let's take a look at the drawing of this trailer before we start walking you through this. What we're looking at is, again, a 3-horse with a front dressing room on it. It's 18 foot on the floor. It's their standard width, 6'10" wide, 7'1" tall. We have a short wall in this front tack room at 3'8", and then we have a 4-foot offset. But on these trailers, again, a Cimarron is very unique. I mean, even though they have their very well-equipped standard models, we usually go in and add a few things to these to really, just give you a little bit more bang for your buck. These are really nice options that will, just make the trailer function better for you and you'll enjoy it better. And I'll kind of point out some of those things as we're working through this. So underneath the gooseneck here, what we've got is we've got a Bulldog single leg manual crank jack. Located to the left of that is the spare tire. Now I want to point one thing out right here on the spare tire. Normally this spare tire is located down low. They usually put this foot it rests on down at the bottom of the trailer here. And then what we have is it's pretty snug to the actual jack itself. Now, we continue to have people, maybe even after the fact, when they're purchasing the trailer from us or down the road, they are wanting to add a hydraulic jack to these trailers. Well, one of the issues is the footprint on a electric over hydraulic jack. The equalizer system we use is much larger, so it requires us to relocate this spare tire. So we got with Cimarron. They're always very receptive when we throw things out there, and we said, hey, you know what we ought to do is we ought to just move this up on these 6'10" wide trailers, then it's just out of the way. The other thing too is actually when you're working with your tailgate down and you're working back here, it actually gives you a little bit more room. Normally it's down here, but it just goes up underneath this gooseneck very well. Then we don't have to relocate it. That's more money, that's more time that you're gonna have to spend to put that jack on if you ever do opt to go ahead and make that type of a change as far as the option goes. One of the other things that we got with them about was this gooseneck drop wall. All these newer pickups, the bed height is a lot taller than it used to be, so we have to adapt and change. So it used to be a 50-inch gooseneck drop wall. We've gone in and made this a 53 on these using trailers. And the reason why is now we can make this trailer run level, equal weight distribution on our 2 axles, and have plenty of bed clearance. So on those older trailers, you get one of the 2 things. You either get bed clearance and it's nosed up, run on the back axle, or it's level and you have hardly any bed clearance. So we've gone in and made that a 53-inch gooseneck drop. That way, again, we can adjust this trailer, get it running level on your pickup, and again, not have to worry about getting into your bed of the actual truck itself and damaging that. Now, this front dressing room, again, this is a very well equipped. I'm going to point out a couple things. Let's just start at the door here. On the door, you're going to have a 4-tier blanket pole rack. It's on a gas shock, swings in and out, and then you've got a brush tray. The brush tray works really well for just smaller items, your brushes, fly sprays, anything like that you can just throw in there, and then it just kind of keeps it nice and handy for you as you're getting ready. One of the things that we like to add is this fold-up step on all of our tack rooms. Now on our 8-foot wide, 7'6" wide trailers, especially 8-foot, you have no running board. 7'6" you have minimal, and under 6'10" you have a little bit more. But if you look where I'm standing to the running board versus the step, and then also compared to the lower framing of this door, that's a pretty big step for anybody getting in and out of this trailer. So we like to incorporate these fold-up steps just for the ease of everything, getting in and out of this trailer. And then we topped it off with this 42-inch wide door. The reason why a 42-inch wide door is this trailer is equipped with a swing-out saddle rack that's also on a gas shock. And the 42-inch wide has some purposes. One, if you have saddles on this, we're not going to be dragging them against the door frame there. Also, you can walk in and out of this even with the saddle rack out. There's a lot of manufacturers that will have this swing out option, but the door's narrower where you can drag them on the door frames. But if this is out, you can't get into the tack room. You literally have to be then swinging it in, get into the tack room, swing it back out. This you can actually function and flow throughout the trailer. So you have these 3 saddle rack pads on this one. These are adjustable on this post. You can add more, you can move them up and down, whatever you want. But since it's a 3-horse, you're gonna get a standard 3. We go to the 4, obviously you get 4. Couple things here in this front tack room that we'll point out. First, we have carpet on the deck, the drop wall, and then also the floor of this. This is marine carpet, so it can get wet. You know, you can power wash it out. It's perfectly fine. But we do like the carpet from the standpoint of, you know, we're not having metal, you know, contact. If you're throwing some items up in here, it might get a little bit slippery. This will actually hold it. In this gooseneck area, you have the ability, throw a mattress up here. You can throw a bedroll, sleeping bags. You've got the windows so you can look out. I'm a fan of those because, one, I want to be able to see out. I'd get claustrophobic if it was all sealed up. And the other thing too is you can create a cross breeze that'll make you feel a little bit better in there. Over to the right, you'll notice that long tray. So that tray actually is going to house our plexiglass that I'll show you on the tail side of this trailer. That way we don't have to worry about that plexiglass just thrown up in the nose. We actually have a place for it, secure, it's out of the way, and the chances of it breaking have been greatly reduced. Right above me is going to be frame for an air conditioner. You can also do a camper style manual vent. There's some 12 volt vents that you can put on these. Obviously you'd have to add 12 volt power to it, but there's some items like that that you can do it. So it's a lot simpler for us to go in and add this piece when it's being manufactured versus later on, just kind of like that spare tire. It's going to cost you more in time and more in money to have that done where, hey, it's already done for you. That saves a step for us. Behind me is a shelf with a clothes rod that goes across. This has got a lip, so it'll hold those items in there. These are nice stout shelves. Throw hat cans up here. Again, smaller items that you just don't want to be shifting around. Hang clothes. You can hop in this front dressing room and change. Having them to be able to hang up is really nice. And then on the gooseneck drop wall, we put a 12-inch boot box. We did it partial across the gooseneck drop wall, but it works good again for smaller items, and then also as a step if you want to hop up into the actual gooseneck area. You've got some bridle hooks, so we have 2 rows. You have 6 per row and carpet behind them, so we don't have, you know, your tack actually swinging against this sheeting. You also have horses on the other side of this. It'll deaden some of that noise, but mainly we just don't want that tack swinging against that wall. It'll scuff up the wall, it'll scuff up your tack, and let's not do that. You can always go in and add more of these hooks. Carpet could be done as well if you wanted to add more of that. And then directly behind the saddle rack, swing out saddle rack, is a corner water tank. That is a 25-gallon gravity feed water tank. Very easy to operate. Fill at the top, empty at the bottom. There's a little hose that comes with it, which is good in my opinion. Put a ball valve on the end of it, and then you can actually run this hose outside the tack room, fill up your buckets. But those are really handy. I mean, we just got to the point where we just continue to have so many customers add them in after the fact or during the part of the sale that we just opted to put them in the trailers. That's kind of wasted space back there in that corner. So again, we just started putting that on the trailer itself. Now this trailer is white sheeting. The white sheeted trailers are standard. You can upgrade to black, silver metallic, charcoal metallic, champagne. You can do custom colors, about anything you want, but there is an additional charge there. But again, this one's the standard white. Now, as we get back here, we'll look at a couple different things. First and foremost, we have a 16-inch awning light up at the top. So we have light coverage on every side of this trailer. So driver's side, passenger side, and the rear of this trailer. And then we have our interior LEDs. But those are nice because they don't protrude up. It's an RV style actual light, so it shoots down and out, good coverage, but again, not that pedestal light that's going to stick up and protrude from the trailer, where if you go underneath a tree or a branch, something will just knock it off, and then you're having to worry about replacing that. Now in this one here, this trailer was optioned with the stock sides on the back with the plexiglass. So again, this plexiglass can be removed. There's a track with a notch in it that you can remove those. Now look, this one here is not as big of a deal. If you watch a lot of our other videos with stock trailers, we have different lengths, different sizes of plexiglass. I do recommend that, you know, you tape these together and write passenger lower, passenger upper. It just saves time when you go to put them back. But in this instance, we're just dealing with two air gaps, the exact same size, same pieces. You kind of know where they're going, where other trailers it gets a little bit more complicated when you're going to put those back in there. But on this one here, again, you can seal it up with the plexiglass. If you want to pop that out, very simple, slide them out, put them up there in that storage tray. Since it's a 3-horse, you're gonna have 3 exterior tie rings per side of the trailer. Now on this here, we've got 2 6,000-pound rubber torsion Dexter axles, 16-inch wheels. This trailer is gonna weigh about 4,600 pounds empty, so plenty of axle underneath it. This trailer here could easily be pulled with a lot of these newer half-ton pickups. You know, obviously this is equipped with electric brakes, so you either need the integrated brake controller or an aftermarket in order to operate the brakes. These are balanced and nitrogen-filled tires as well, so we're not having major fluctuations in PSI level. There is a misconception out there that you can't put air to these. That's completely wrong. You can put air to them. You're not getting the benefits of the nitrogen when you do that, but you can go find a tire distributor that or store that handles the nitrogen. They can maybe patch a hole if you have, or a slow leak that made you have to put air to it, but then you can go ahead and put that nitrogen back to into the tires themselves. Now, give a 1-year no questions asked warranty on these tires. That's through the vendor that Cimarron uses, Lion's Head. So again, you catch a nail, it can't be patched, a blowout, road debris, they'll replace it 1 year, again, no questions asked. On the Cimarron side of the warranty, you're gonna have an 8-year structure and a 3-year hardware warranty on this trailer, so they really stand behind the product. Now at the back of this trailer here, we're gonna have dual independent doors. We have a 60-40 setup since it's a 6'10" wide. As again, we get into the wider trailers, the 7'6", the 8-foot, we'll do more 50-50 doors, but we usually build the right-hand door a little bit wider than the left-hand door in these scenarios. As you can see, we have a rubber bumper at the back. Maybe you wanna add a rear ramp. We can do that here. Our parts and service department can add that to the trailer. Now, if it's a special colored trailer, you know, one of those upgrades, it might take us a little bit more time to get that ramp in here, but they normally carry a lot of the white ramps in different sizes. So the 6'10" wide, the 7'6" wide trailers, and the 8-foot. So they usually have a lot of those on hand. But again, we can do a lot of things after the fact. And basically they'd remove that rubber bumper, you shut your rear doors, and it folds up over that. We have solid dividers. Maybe you want to add pads to it, we can do that. Your very first divider here is going to be a stud divider. So again, if you've got somebody that you want to put up in this first stall that just, you know, we need a little bit more separation, a little bit more protection for the other horses, that comes into play. Also, you can use it as additional storage in this first stall, because we also have an escape door that we'll show you when we get to the other side of the trailer. But you don't have to worry about items shifting, getting underneath horses as far as that's concerned. But again, if you wanted to add pads, we could do that after the fact. All the D-rings are already here, so if you wanted to add triangle feeders, we can do that as well. There's a lot of items we can do, even to these well-equipped trailers after the fact. So just because you don't see an option like a rear ramp, a hay rack, maybe some of those items you're like, oh man, that's the perfect trailer, but it doesn't have that. Well, we can still make it the perfect trailer for you by doing some of those add-ons after the fact. These are recessed paddle latches, so they're into the wall, nothing protruding out. This is a aluminum cast piece that's powder coated. Again, everything's just got a radius to it. And then a heavy UHMW plastic paddle latch, so we don't have metal to metal contact. But even when you grab these dividers, everything has a radius to it. They don't like sharp edges. We don't like 90-degree, sharp angles. Obviously anything protruding out. Animal safety is first and foremost. So with that being said, on these floors, this being an all aluminum constructed trailer, you have 4-inch centers that run across this trailer the entire length. Wherever you have a hoof, whether it's a horse, even on the livestock side, they build all these trailers the exact same. Wherever they're standing on a support beam. So the strongest floor on the market in today's world. And then to cap it off, you're going to have one of these insulated roofs. Those are really strong as well. They'll take 150 pounds per square foot, but it's a 1/2-inch thick reinforced honeycomb design insulated roof. Again, that is standard as well, just like that floor. Doesn't matter what model it is, they're going to put that roof on it, just like that flooring. In my opinion, more importantly, is the R3 thermal value that it also has for this stall area. It's going to keep it 20% cooler compared to an aluminum sheeted roof. So from an actual horse standpoint or animal standpoint, just the ability to keep them nice and cool is major benefits as far as when you're traveling in these hot months. Again, keeping them cool, keeping them comfortable. You've got two-way roof vents as well to manipulate airflow. I'll show you the drop windows when we get to the other side. I showed you the plexiglass on tail side that we can open up as well. And then you're going to have a couple LED lights in here as well. Like I said, we've got them on each side. The back of the trailer, there's an 8-inch awning light right above me on this top rail. So again, you have the ability to have a lot of light coverage throughout this trailer, because there will be times where you're loading, unloading at dark, and again, it's real simple and real easy to have. Those lights are all on individual switches, so they're easy to operate. So as we get over here to the driver's side, as you can see, we've got our drop windows. With it being a 3-horse, we've got a drop window at stall number 1 that might be a little bit smaller, and that's because we have this escape door itself. So we need that framing of this window to be a little bit smaller compared to 2 and 3. But I want you to notice between the window and the edge of this, that's all framework. So that these windows are so strong and so stout. I mean, again, these are items we're going to open and close every time we use this trailer. So we want them to hold up over time. So that quality will really show over time. Then you also have the jail bars that fold down. So if you need to, throw another hay bag in there, give them a drink of water, something like that when you stop. But very easy to operate. Very easy to close. They have welded hinges with the grease certs, so a lot easier to maintain. Kind of going back to like that spare tire, that those type of items, that AC framing. So again, these are easier to maintain. Should save you some money in the long run. So you can literally put grease to them yourself, open and close them. There's a brass rod that runs through it. It's got a groove that's cut into it. So what it does, it actually wants to force that grease throughout the entire hinge. A lot of manufacturers have a welded hinge on there, but it's sealed. You're trying to get everything you can into one little gap, trying to feed it throughout. It's really hard to do that. This is a lot easier to do that, maintain them, keep them functioning, making them run nice and smooth. And then again, here at this first stall, the escape door, you've got the chest bar that goes over it. So again, if you're using that as storage, you can still access items without having to unload horses to get to those type of items. So again, a really well-equipped little 3-horse Cimarron Norstar. It is a 2023. I'm going to give you the stock number on reference for it. So if you call in, you're interested in it or one similar to it, you can just give us this number and we can work off of it. It is 5N221025. We do take trade-ins. We offer financing. Delivery is available. We can help you out in a lot of different aspects as far as your trailer purchase goes. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. Our number is 303-684-3400. We appreciate you tuning in and have a good day.